So, okay, we're going to start with this one here. As you can see, what constructor will cause the following code to print? And again, I'm going to pause this for a few seconds, and then after that, we're going to continue, okay? So first of all, when you got a question like this, the first thing to be done is to initialize these variables. So as you can see, I have the first variable is A. So I have a variable A here. And this A of type ABC, it means it's an object of this class. And inside this A, I have a method called say. You see this method? And whenever we call this method, a.say method, for example, is going to go and is going to print what's inside by inside this one here. So I have a variable here called by, and I'm going to print what's inside it. Is this clear? Okay, let's see. What do I want the output to be? High, and then what? By. And we want, in order to have this, one of these should be correct. One of these should be correct. And let's see which one. B.say hi. What does it mean, B.say hi? It means I have this object. I created this object. How I created this object? I passed to the constructor hi. Anyone can tell me now I have what? I have B. I have what? B. Look at B. Let's take the first constructor. The first what? Constructor. If I don't send anything, by is going to be what? By, and high is going to be high. Have I sent something here, or I didn't send anything? I sent what? High. This means that, am I going to take this one, or this one is going to be what? High. And this one is going to be what also? High. Is this clear? Again, I'm going to repeat this for the second time. If I say, for example, B, or let's say C equal A, B, C, and let's say MOH, HUDA. What's going to happen now? I will have inside C, depending on this constructor, I will have two variables. One is called by, and one is called high. This is C. By is going to be equal to what? By is going to be equal to what? Look at it. By is going to be the first argument. If I don't send anything, it's going to take this word. But I have sent what? So by is going to be MOH. Is this clear? Do you remember? We have default variable. If we don't send anything, it's going to take the default variable. If we send something, this variable here is going to be the first one. And what about the second variable? Is going to be what? So high is going to be HUDA. Is this clear? Do you need me to repeat this, Manar? Clear or not clear? Okay. So let me say now D equal, let's say the name of the class is ABC. And now I'm sending to this, for example, let's say, what do you want me to send it to it? 3. I'm sending to here what? 3. Clear? Okay, this 3 will be, so create an object. The name of the object is D. So I'm creating an object. The name of the object is D. And what I'm doing now, in this object, I'm calling the constructor. Let's say the first one. We need to try all these, but let's try the first constructor. So it means that create two variables. One is called by, and the other one called high. I send to you only one variable. One variable, it means you take it to the first one. So instead of by, I will have 3. So this one here is going to be what? 3. Well, this one is going to be equal. What is the default value of high? High. So this one is going to be equal to high. Is this clear? Clear or not clear? Is this clear, guys? Okay, we understand what's going on. Let's now go to this here. When I say B.say high, I sent high. So I have a variable called B. This is the object. And in this variable, depending on the first one, I have two variables. One is called by, and the other one is called high. This high that I'm going to send is going to replace what? This variable is going to be inside this variable, or is going to be inside this variable? What do you think? Is going to be inside by. So by now is equal to what? High. I didn't send anything to high, so it's going to take. So here I will have also high. Is this clear now? Okay, so inside B, I have two variables. One of them is called by and the other one is called high. Inside by, I will have high. Inside high, I will have high. Now, I have also created another variable which is called A. This is an object A. And also it has by and it has also what? High. I didn't send anything. What does it mean? If I don't send anything, instead of by, I will have, so here I will have by, and here I will have what? The default, which is high. Is this clear till this step? Okay, now I said b dot say high. It means that go to here and go to by and do what? Go to by in B, because self now is B, and print it. What is by in B? What's inside by in B? High. So it's going to print the first high. Is this clear, this line? What does it mean b dot say high? It means go to the object B and say high. What does it mean say high? It means that go to the argument by, because this is a say high, and print it. What's inside by? High, so it's going to print high. What about a dot say high? Can anyone tell me what's going to happen now? So it's the same idea. Go to me to where? To say. And now go, what is self now? Is it B or E? Who's calling say now? A. So go to A and print what is inside by. What is inside by in A? Inside, this is A. What is inside by in A? By. So it's going to print by. Is this clear? Okay. So if I tried this one here, it's going to print high and it's going to print what? And that's what they want. Yes or no? Let's try another one. Let's try, let's say, so now the answer is going to be B and we're sure it's going to be B. But let's try this one here. So let's say we don't have this. We're dealing now with this one here. Is this going to be a correct answer or not? Let's see. So again, I have B and I have A. So this is A and this is what? B. So this is A and this is B. And as you can see, A, I didn't send anything. So depending on this one here, the first one is high. So high here is going to be equal to what? High. Clear? And the second one is by, is going to equal to what? Also by. Because in A, I didn't send anything. When it comes to B, I sent one argument. So the first one, as you can see, this one here is going to be high. And I sent what? So I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to take this one. So high is going to be equal to what? To high. And what about by is going to be equal to what? By is going to be equal to. When I say B dot say high, it means go to B, go to by and print it. That's what does it mean. What's inside by? So it's is it going to print high? What's going to print by? And that's what I want or no? I don't want this. So is this correct? No, this is not correct. Let's try this one here. What do you think about this one here? Let's try this one, the D. As you can see here, how many arguments is going to take? One argument, which is high. And here, by is always equal to what? By. So am I going to be able to print high? Sorry? Yeah, it's there, but it seems that when I copied it. Okay, is this clear? And the underscore is not correct. Even if I print it like this, but I don't put underscore, it's incorrect. Directly, this one is incorrect. Clear, guys? You got it now? Okay. Where? This one here. If this is the case, then it's going to be none of the. If you ask in the exam, I don't know if whether I copied this by mistake or it's there. If I don't have underscore here, this one also is going to be wrong. Okay, if it's from copying it, because maybe I copied, if from copying it, that's why I didn't get this one here. So it's going to be what? It's going to be, so depending on two things, guys. So this is a good thing. If I have here, Yes. So if I don't have here, like here, underscore, 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 so this one also is going to be wrong. Is this clear? So I should have underscore, underscore, underscore for this one to be correct. But if I don't have this underscore in it, like this is not going to work. This is not a constructor. But so if I have these, so it's going to be B. If I don't have, it's going to be none of the above. Clear? You got it? So if you got a question like this, exactly like this in the exam, you're going to choose none of the above. Why? Because I don't have here the underscore and the underscore. But if it was a mistake, I don't know whether I copied it by mistake or not, because sometimes it does the same thing. So if it's not by mistake, if I got it like this, it's going to be wrong. If I have here underscore, underscore, and here underscore, underscore, the answer is going to be B. But I want you to understand the concept. Okay? Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. This is an easy question. So again, I will let you think about it for a few seconds and then I will come back. Okay, guys, so let's look at this exercise and I want to remind you of small things. If I have, for example, let's say loop that is going to loop for 5 times. And inside this loop, I have another loop that is going to loop for 3 times. Those all together, how many times? So if I have here a print statement, this print statement, how many times is going to be printed? 15. Yes, it's going to be printed 15 because I'm going to loop here 5 times. Okay, each time I'm going to loop 3 times. Yes, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Each time I'm going to do how many times? 3. Yes, each time I'm going to do 3. So each time I'm going to do 3. So each time I'm going to do 3. If you count them, it's going to be this one multiplied by this one, which is 15. Clear till now or not clear? You got it? Okay, let's go. The question says, as simple as that, it says that I have a loop that is going to loop how many times depending on the length of, and which is, so the first loop is going to loop 10,000. Is this clear? Okay, the second loop is going to loop 10,000 minus 1. So it means 99999. Is this clear? Clear or not clear? Actually, without the, so 9999. Okay, without this one. So 4 nines. Okay, so the question is line 3. It means that this line. How many times is going to be executed? What do you think? Well, the answer is going to be the multiplication of this one with this one, because they are 2 loops, yes? You got it with that? No? Okay, let me explain it. So say it. Okay, look at it. I have 4 loop. It's going to loop how many times? 5 times. Another 4 loop inside it is going to loop for example, 4 times. I have a print here. How many times I'm going to print this one here? Why? Because it's going to be 5 times, and each time I'm going to do 4. So this one is going to be 20. Here, how many times I'm going to loop? Depending on the length of A. What is the length of A? So this one is going to loop 10,000. This one is going to loop 10,000 minus. So it means 999. Okay, these together is going to be what? This one, 5 times 4, 10,000 times 9999 is going to be, which one of these guys? Which is E. All what you need to do is, you see these zeros here, you put it here, 0, 0, 0, 0. How many zeros do I have? 4, I put the 4 0. We know that if I have 2 and I multiply it by 10, what do I do to this 0? I put it here. Yes, the answer is 20. If I have, for example, 100 and I multiply it by 2, what do I do to these 2 zeros? The answer is going to be 200. Yes, all what I need is that I move the 0. So I have this multiplied by this. The answer is going to be just move these zeros to here, and then you will get the answer, which is this one. Clear? As I told you, this is an easy question. Okay, the same question now, but A contains 1,000. Contains what? 1,000 element. I'm gonna ask you for line 4. So the question is, how many times line 4 is gonna be executed if A contains 1,000 elements? So I want this line, how many times is gonna be executed? There is one condition here. The condition says that these elements that A are already sorted in the increasing order. So A contains elements that are already sorted. Okay, so now I'm giving you A, let's say A is going to be 5, and then 7, and then 9, and then, for example, 10, and then 15, and then 27, and then 38, and then, so as you can see, these numbers are what? Sorted. So I'm giving you A sorted, and I'm saying that, how many elements do I have here? 1,000. How many times this line is going to be executed? Let me see who's going to give me the answer. So the answer is going to be, who has an idea? So look at it. When I'm going to be in this line here, when I will go, if what? If AJ greater than from, let's say this is AJ. This one is going to be A J plus 1. Do you think, I said sorted, do you think this one is going to be greater than this one? No. So am I going to go here? No. Do you think this one is going to be greater than this one? Do you think this one is going to be greater than this one? So how many times I'm going to go here? What? 0. 0 times. I'm going to go here only if this condition is true. And once this condition is going to be true, no time. Why no time? Because A is already sorted. I'm going to swap the two numbers, one Khadija. When the number, so look at it. I have 3 here and I have 1 here. Am I going to swap them? Yes, I want 1 to be here and 3 to be here. Yes. So I'm going to swap. Here is the swap. If this number is greater than this number. But what if my list is given to me? This is given in the question that my list is already sorted. It means that the elements is going to be 1, 3, 5, 9, 100, 250. I will not have here a number here that less than this number. It's going to be sorted. So this condition is going to be always false. I will not swap any numbers. And that's why this line is going to be executed how many times, guys? 0 times. Is this clear? So this is the question here. It says that if the input list contains, let's say 1,000 element that are already in a sorted order from the smallest to the largest, the line 4 of bubble sort will execute how many times? And the answer is going to be 0 times. It will not execute at all. Okay, if the question is, let's say it's not sorted. This A is not sorted. That's it. Okay, not 999. It's going to be, yeah, 990. Yeah, exactly. Clear? If not sorted, so in the worst case, we're going to go and swap each and every number. You got it now, the difference between these two, Manar? Okay, good. But let's go to the next question. In the next question, we have this question. It says that the body of the following function, let me stop the recording and give you some time in order to think about it, as usual. Yalla. Okay, guys, when I say try, that's what I want to see. Look what I want to see. I want to see the following. I have 2 strings, S1 and S2, yes? That's what I have. So let's suppose S1 is equal to MOH. And let's say S2 is also equal to MOH. And let's say, for example, also S2 is equal to, let's take HOM. So one time they are equal, one time they are not equal. That's how I want you to think about it. And let's try. What does it say? It says that S1 and S2, it's going to return true if the two strings are the same and false otherwise. So it means that if I send S1 and S2, these two, it should give me true. If I send this one and this one should give me false. Is this clear? And I try and I see which one of these is going to give me like true, which one is going to give me false, depending on whether they are equal or not. Okay, let's try, for example, these two. First, with this one. So I in range of S1. So I is going to be equal. Remember, S1 is, I have 3 elements. So it's going to be 0, 1, or clear? And J is going to be equal also to what? 0, 1, or 2. Remember, because they have the same length. That's actually the condition. And now, if Si different from Sj, let's look at this one here. Is Si different from Sj? No. So they are not equal. This condition is not true. What do I do now? I update I or J. Which one do I update? J. J now, instead of 0, J is going to be 1. So I go now. S1I. What is S1I? Still S1I. I'm still at I. It's still M. What is now S2J? What is the J? 1, which is O. Is O different from, is M different from O? Yes, so it's going to return. Do we want this? We don't want this. So directly, you don't have to continue. You will say this number 1 is not correct. Remember, it should be for both. It should work for both. I go to the second one. What do I have? I in range of S1. It means I is going to be 0, 1, and 2. S1I, it means S1, 0. What is S1, 0? M. Is M is equal to S2, 0? Is M is equal to M? Yes. Return what? So it works for this part. Now we should test whether it's work if they are not equal. Is this clear what I'm doing? So now I repeat the same thing. But now S1 is equal MOH, S2 is equal to what? Anything different from MOH. I said HOM. Okay, let's see. It should return for this one what? True or false? False. Let me write something like this. S2 is equal to, let's say, M HO. M what? HO. But just to show you that it's not going to. Look at it. Is MOH is the same as MHO? No. Let's go to here. For I, it means I equal to 0. S of is going to give me what? This one is going to give me what? S1, 0 is M. What is S2, 0? Return what? What does this mean? It means that this one and this one are the same. Are these the same? So do you think this is correct? Okay, let's try it with HOM. With what? HOM. HOM, is it equal to MOH? So S1 is equal to MOH. And S2 is equal, let's say, to HOM. Do you remember this? I didn't want to write it like this because it's going to be a little bit longer. But let's see. We're testing this one. S1I, it means the M. Okay, let me use another color. So I'm talking now about the M. And S2I, we're talking about H. Are they equal? No. So what we gonna do? I'm going to get this return, or we'll go back to the loop. Now I instead of 0, I is gonna be, is O is equal to what? O. Is O is equal to O? Return what? So it's gonna say this one and this one are equal. Do you think this is acceptable? No. So is this? So this one is wrong. This one is wrong. What do you think about this one? Let's test it. Let's test it. Even though it's obvious it's gonna be correct, but let's test it. Let's test it with MOH and HOM. Look at it. I'm talking about S1I, which is going to be M. Is it equal to S2I? What is this? Yeah, this one should be actually, this one should be different from, I guess. This one should be different from. So maybe I didn't, let me check if SI, yeah, this one, return false if different from, and then return true. So this is different from, I'm really sorry. Okay, so this one is different from. So let's look at it. Is SI different from SI2? Yes, so return directly false. Okay, let's take MOH with MOH now. It should return what? True. Let's see. SI, it means the first one. With S2, is this one is equal to this one? Yes. So what do? I go, no, I don't return. I don't go inside the if condition. I go back. Now I, instead of being here, is going to be this one with this one. Is this one and this one are equal? Yes, so this condition is not true. I will go back now. I'm still in the length of S1. So now I compare H and H. Is this one and this one are equal? Yes, so I will not go here. I will go back here. The loop is done. What do I return? True. Clear? The loop is done. I return true. So here it's different from, I think it's a mistake. This is not the most updated version, it seems. So, it contains a mistake. Okay, guys? Clear? So we're done with question number 18. That's how I want you to think. Not like I give you the question and you're, what is this? I need you to do some calculation, give examples, and see whether it's going to work or not. That's what I'm asking you to do. When I give you these few seconds in order to think about it, I don't mean that you look at it. Let's look at the next one, this one here. Yalla, quickly, guys. I don't have that much time. I need to solve the other question for you quickly. So when I say I have A, it means that I'm creating inside the memory, if you remember, I'm creating what? A list, and inside this list I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have a variable here A that contains the address of this list. Do you remember this? When I say equal A equal B, it means that create another variable and put the address of A to B. So these two pointing to the same place. If I change anything here, it's going to be changed. So I said A1 equals 0. It means go to here. Instead of the 2, put 0. Now, if I'm printing B again, B is still pointing to the same place. So it's going to be this. Clear? This one is easy, I guess. Let's go to the next one. Let's see if someone will be able to solve this question. So this one is, this one is A, and I'm done. Now we're gonna go to some programming questions. This also a final exam question is the same last year. I'm gonna explain it a little bit for you, and then we're gonna try to solve it together. Okay, guys? But I want you to concentrate a little bit. We're gonna solve it all, don't worry. So what do we have here? You are a teacher who set up an exam. These a lot of words. I don't want you to get lost with these words. We need the fruit. We need the thing that interests us as a programmer. So I have a teacher who's set up exam. The exam is a collection of questions. Each question has a grade. The question name and its grade are stored in a file called the grade.txt. So I have the question name, and how much is this question it worth is going to be stored in a file called the grades.txt. Clear? The file contains a question name, then it's grade separated by a space. So this one here, I have a space, and then I will have here what? The grade, 5, 8, whatever. Below is an example, just an example, okay? Because sometimes you think that this is the whole thing. It's just an example on how the file looks like. Something like this. Question 1 is going to take, if you answer question 1 correct, you're going to get how many grades? 4. Question 2, you're going to get 5, and so on. So we know that we have a file called the grades.txt, and in this file we have the things. Okay, till now everything is okay. As an example, it shows a question 1 worth 4 grades still, and so on. The second file, we have another file. It's called student.txt, contains a student ID, which is a unique, this is really important stuff as a programmer. What is the type of the ID? integer, and it's unique. It means that no two students will have the same ID. Is this clear? This is an important stuff for us as a programmer. So the ID of a student is going to be an integer, is going to be unique integer. Okay? So it can be any number of any size. The student ID, there will be one more questions that the student has answered. So what is saying here as after the student ID, so I will the file students is going to contain a student ID, let's say 600 blah 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 whatever. And after the student ID, I will have what? The question that this student has answered correctly. It means that I have, for example, let's say a Q1, Q2, Q3. What does this mean? It means this student with this ID has answered the question 1 and the question 2 and the question 3, what? Correct. Clear? And I might have, let's say, let me put something like this. So student ID 1, let's say 1, okay? And it has something like this, question 1, comma, question 2, and comma, question 4. And then student ID 3, let's say. Question 1, question 2, and student ID 3, and let's say question 1. Student ID 1, again, and let's say question 5. Student ID 2, and let's say question 7. What does this mean? If you read it like this means that student ID not 1, this student with ID 1, has answered the question 1 correctly, has answered the question 2 correctly, has answered the question 4 correctly, and has answered also question 5 correctly. What does it mean? It means that we don't have to have in the file these things to be consecutive. So I might have here student number 1, and I might have here student number 1 with another set of questions. Is this clear what I'm saying? Is this clear what I'm saying? So you need to understand the problem in order to be able to solve it. Okay, from where I got this information, it doesn't say this. Look from where I got it. I got it from here. I got it from here. Look, what does it say? It says that consider the below small sample of 3 students. So as you can see, how many students do I have here? It says 3 students, yes? This is student number 1, and this is student number 2, and this is student number 3. Can you see these 3 students? Okay, sorry, student number 3, I guess this one. Where is it? This one. Okay, so we have these 3 students. I will, this is the first student, this is the second student, and this is the third student. Why only 3 students? Because look, I have 60, 60, yeah, 600, 600, yes. And what do I have here? Okay, this 600, this student with 600, 600. He answered which questions correctly? Question 1, question 2, and question 8. And the question? Where is 10? Yeah, 10. And the question? 6. Is this clear? You got it now? If you got it, we're in the right track. Okay, if I ask you for question for a student 6070, 6070, what do you would say? Exactly. Okay, question 70. He answered question number 3, question number 7, and the question number 1, and the question number 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so now we understand the problem. We see that we have 2 files. Let's review again what we have. We have 2 files. The first one is called grades, and it's easy. As you can see, it contains the question with its grade. The second file is called students, and it contains the ID of the student with a set of questions that he has answered correctly, and then another student, and maybe the same student again, and so on. Clear? Okay, we understand now, but what they want till now, there is no question. Let's see what is the first question. The first question, it says that write a function. It says that what? Write a function, a grades to dictionary that takes the file name. So that's accept grades.txt as an argument and returns a dictionary in which the key is a question name and the value is the grade for that question. Such a dictionary call such a dictionary as a grade. So this one is a very easy question. We'll explain it to you, but I want you, when you read the question, you understand what's happening here. It says that I need to write a function. It means dev, and the name of the function grades to dictionary, and it's going to take the file name. The file name is with you now. Okay, so this file name, in our case, is going to be what? But now I will call it file name. When I give you the file name, what do you need to do to the file? The first thing that you need to do to the file, you open the file. Okay, when you open the file, if you remember, the file contains something like this. So this is a file, and the file is going to be something like this: question 1, 5, question 2, 3, question blah. Do you remember? So this one, you're going to open this one. When you open it, do you remember when we said when you open a file and then you read from this file? What's going to happen when you read from this file? Everything is going to be loaded as a big string. Yes. So this means that I will have a big string. Big string. I'll put it here, and this big string is going to contain question 1, 5, question 2, 3, question 3, whatever. Yes, and this one is going to be inside a string. What do I want to do? I want to take this one here and put it inside a dictionary. So I try to imagine how this output is going to be. What I will have, the dictionary, we remember there is a key and there is a value. Yes, the key is going to be the question. So here is going to be question 1, and here is going to be, and then comma, and here is going to be question 2, and here is going to be, and here is going to be question 3, and here is going to be, you got it? What do I want? So now let's think about how can I, from the file, I can get this dictionary. I will give you like 2-3 minutes to think about it, not to solve it, all of it, and then I will try to solve it. Clear? You got that? What do I want? So I need to see a code in front of you. You open a file, you read from this file, convert this file into a list, then read from this list. For each element, you're going to put it, the first element, you're going to put it as the key. The second element, you're going to put it as a value. And then you return this. That's the general idea. Yalla guys, عشان نقدر نحل. Let's solve it before. So today we're gonna work as we're gonna solve in the exam. Okay, guys. So I opened IDLE and I opened a new file. And let's start doing this. So again, I will go back from one place to another. So I will jump from, I guess, here, we are here. So I will jump, it says that the question 1, it says that the method is called the grades to dictionary, and it's gonna take a file name. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here and I will write define. It's called the grades to dictionary, I guess. And it's gonna take what? File underscore name. Anyone doesn't know how to write the first thing? I think this should be, Okay, this should be good. Yes? Okay. أنا خايفان إحنا متوعي لورا. جلسي. Okay. What is the file that I'm getting right now? Inside a variable called, what do I need to do to this file name? So let's say f equal my file, anything you want, yes? So I'm gonna call it f, for example, equal. And what do I write here? Open. Which file I need to open? File underscore name. I don't write grades.txt. Why I don't write? Because grade.txt is the thing that you're gonna send me. Okay, this is a variable, I deal with this file. I open this file. When I open this file, I need to do what? So dot read. Clear? Sorry? In the same here inside? No, we can't. The variable name doesn't have a method called read. This read is for open. The thing that is going to return from here, read it. Okay? The best thing to be done if you want, you can do something like this. And then you can say, for example, L or whatever you want is equal, or you know, my underscore file as a string is equal to what now? F dot read. Clear? What does it mean? It means open the file for me and then read it and put it inside my file. You can, or as I have said, you can just get rid of this one here and you put here dot what? Dot read. It means open the file and read it. What's inside F now? One big string. Do you remember this? We have said it a million times. Now, this is really important. One big string that contains everything. So what do I, in the question, if you remember, he said that each one, they have space between them. Okay, now I want a list, and this list contains question 1, and then the second element should be 5, for example, question 2, and then blah, 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 and so on. So what do I write now? Let me call it L, for example. L is equal to what? F dot split. And if I leave it like this, it means split on the space. Okay. Wait. Look, what do I have? I have S equal, let's say, and something like this. Q1 space 5. Yes. Q2, let's say 4. Q3, let's say 9. This is the string. So when I read the file, this is what we called it there F. This is F. When we read the file into F, F is going to contain these things. Is this clear? So the second step, actually, I don't want it to be like, because look what if I say F0, what does it mean? Q only. If I say F0 is going to be Q only. If I say F1 is going to be 1 only. That's what I want. I want Q1 to be all together, and that's why, what do I do? Let's say let's say L equal F dot split. Look what's going to happen now. If I say L1 or L0, let's say L0, what's going to be? Can you see it? That's what I want. I want L0 to be, if I print L, as you can see, what do I have? Element 1, element 2, element, that's what I want. So when I read from the file, I will get this when I say only read. But I don't want to say F0 and give me Q and then F1. I deal with these things. I want to deal with this thing as a whole entity. So what do? I split using what? Using the space that I have. And as you can see now, this is the first element. So if I say L0 is going to be Q1. If I say L1, it's going to be 5. If I say, let's say L1 is going to be what? Can you see it? Okay, what do I want to do now? After I have this list, now forget about the file. I'm not dealing with a file. I'm dealing with this list, and I want to convert this list into a dictionary. What do? I read through the whole list. What do I do, guys? I read through the whole list. How do I read through the whole list? For I, for example, in range. So I need to start with the first element. The first element is going to be at range what? 0. Where do I want to end? When the list ends. When the list ends, length of what? What is called L? Length of L. Clear or not clear? Okay, every time I read an element, I have read Q1. What do I want to do? Put it in dictionary. Is this Q1 is going to be? Q1. And the value is going to be? You got it, guys? So I will go back now here. I hope that you understand what I'm going to do. And now let me do it. Clear? So L equal F dot split. What do I have inside L now if I want to see what's inside it? You see this one here? That's what's inside L. But it's going to get everything from the file that I'm going to send it. So now what do? The dictionary, I'm going to call it D, for example, is equal to what? Let's call it grades or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but let's say grades. Initially, the dictionary has anything. So it has what? Nothing. This is initially. The dictionary is empty. For I in range of what? We said 0, comma, length of L. And I will leave this for now. I will leave this for now. I will leave it for now. So there is something here. Maybe I'm going to add it. Maybe I'm not. So what do I want to do? I want to add to the dictionary. What do I want to add to the dictionary? So it's going to be, the name is, the dictionary, the name is grades. Okay, look at here. This one is the key. This one is the key. Q1 is the key, yes? It's L of what? L of 0. Yes. So I at the beginning is going to be what? So what do I do here? L of I. Excellent. You got it? L of what? Sorry, L of I. What does it mean? It means get me the L of I, which is the first element. Make it as the key. What is the value? So it's going to be L of what? L of I plus 1. Look at it. This one is 0. The value is going to be this one. And the value is, if this 0, the value is going to be at 1. Now, if I want this one here, it's going to be L of what, guys? L of, well, 2. Excellent, L of 2. And this one that corresponds to it is going to be L of 3. Yes? Okay, let's go back to here. So as you can see, if I have L of I, the value is going to be L of I plus 1, the one that next to it. Clear or not clear? Okay, this value, I want it to be the grade, I want it to be as a string or as integer. Integer. So what do I do? Remember, when we read from a file or we write a file, we read and write integer, I mean strings. So what do I need to do now to this one? I need to convert it into integer and put it as the key. Clear or not clear? So this line here, you're done. Believe it or not, the whole thing is this line. But we still miss one thing. Jump what? 2. Why 2? Why not 1? Look at it. When I'm done with this one and I erase this. So I is 0. I got question 1. And then, so let me put it something like this. I don't know what happened to this one. Okay, so I have put, so this is my dictionary. Do you remember? So in my dictionary, I put Q1, column, and what is the value of Q1? I put 5, and then comma. And now remember, I was 0. I put I and I plus 1, which is 0 and 1. Yes? Now, if I want to read, I want to read this one here. It means that I should jump. I was here. I want to read this one here. So do I say plus 1 or I say plus 2? Plus 2. When I'm here, I'm going to read this one and read this one. But remember, I is going to be here. The next time, which one I want to read? You got it? So each time I need to jump 2. So if I need to jump 2, so what do I do here? Where is it? I guess this one here, I put 2. And now I'm dealing with all these things. What do I do after that? When I'm done, return the dictionary, which is called grades. Clear? Okay, let me save this one. And what do we do usually in normal life? We run this and we see whether it's going to work or not. So in order to work or not, let me write here, test it. So I'm going to call this grades.txt. So I'm going to print. I'm going to call this function just to test it together. And what is the name of the file? Do you remember what was the name of the file? Grades? What was the name of the file? Anyone? Grades? Yes, I think it's called grades.txt. So I have already created this file and it's already there. And let me check whether it's going to work or not. So I'm going to run this one. Can you see what happened here? Look, this is the output. Question 1 is 4. Can you see it? Question 2 is 5. Question, and is this a dictionary? Yes, this is the key and this is the value. Question 10, it was 10. Clear? Let me go here somewhere, and I guess it's called final test, yes? And final test, we're talking about grades. Do we have, yeah, this is grades. Can you see it? Question 1, question, these things that we have talked about. Question 10 was what? 2. So if I go back to here, to this one here, can you see question 10 is worth what? 2. Is this clear, the first part? You got it, guys? Any questions? Yes. No, we don't need this, because he said that it's a space between them. We don't. Okay, split with a space. Okay, let's go to the next question now, and we're gonna leave after. Okay, unless someone bring us a tour, we're gonna stay. What time is it now, guys? 6. Oh, okay, leave. I'm kidding. Okay, let's go to the next question now. كفي لك. بنحل part 2 and the part 3 we're gonna postpone it till tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna solve part 2. If you understand part 2, part 3 we're gonna solve it too. Let's go to part 2 now. It says write a function student to dictionary file that accepts a student as an argument and returns a dictionary in which the key is a student ID and the value is a list containing the names of the question that the student has answered correctly. Call such a dictionary as students. This question, the first question is easy. This question is not easy. The first question was an easy question also. This question, it needs more critical thinking. And let's see how we're gonna think about it together. So directly, I will not give you time. I will directly work with it. Okay, so what? Let's go to this one. We will get a file something like this. So we'll get a file something like this. And what do I need to do? I need to create a dictionary. So I need to create a dictionary. So we will have a file like this. In this dictionary, I will have 600,600. So this is the student here. And column. So this one is going to be the ID, the key. And here I will have a list. Is this clear? Inside this list, what do I have? Depending on this question, I will have Q1, comma, Q2, comma. I still have what? A Q8 and the Q10. Q8, Q10, and the Q6. Is this clear? What do I want? And then the second element is going to be, let's say, this student here. So it's going to be 6070, and then column, and then another list here. And what do I have inside this list? Q3, Q1. You got the idea? That's what I want. So I know now what do I want, how to think about it. This is the problem, how to think about it. And if we know how to think about it, then things is going to be easy. So I'm going to work with you now together how to think about it. Okay, let's see how to think about it. So first of all, I need to check. So I have, at the beginning, I have an empty dictionary. Whenever I find a number, this is a number, even though it's a string, but I can tell whether it's a number or not. It's digital. So let me give you some here. So the first thing I want to distinguish whether what I'm reading is the ID of the student or I'm reading the question number. Is this clear what I'm saying? I'm reading here. Is this an ID or a question? I'm reading this one here. Is an ID or a question? I'm reading this one. Is an ID or a question? I'm reading this one. This one could be also a question, but here in our case, it's an it's ID. So I might have like 10 questions. I might have 1 question. I might have 3 questions. I don't know how many times. So I need to check whether what I'm reading is a question or an ID. Look, if it's a question, then it's going to say it contains 2 things, a character and a number, yes? Q1, Q2, Q10, Q17, yes? While this one, it contains only a number. Do you remember when we said it's an integer, blah, blah, blah? So when I'm reading this from the file, all what I need to do, I will go back to this one here, I guess this one here. And I want you to just play with me a little bit. I have this, let's say 12, blah, blah, blah. Dot is digit. What do you think? This is going to give me true or false? It's going to give me true. Why is going to give me true? Because this number here, even though it's a string, but all these are digits. So if this one, if you can see, is going to give me what? It's going to give me true. Is this clear? Clear, guys, or not clear? So let's now run another shell. And let me give you something like this. Let's say Q1. or 1Q. Dot is digit. What do you think this is going to give me? So it's going to give me false. Is this clear? So when I read something like this, let's say 600, 600, and I say dot is digit. So this one is going to give me true. So I know that I'm reading an ID now, or I'm reading a question. So I will read something. If I'm going to apply is digit to it, if it's going to return true, it means that I'm reading ID. If it's going to return false, I'm going to read. You see how I'm analyzing? Because I need actually to know whether I'm reading an ID or I'm reading a question. So I'm going to, whenever I read something, I'm going to apply to it directly. This is digit function. Give me true. You are what? You are an ID of a student. If I have an ID of a student, what should I do? Excellent. I want to add this ID to the dictionary. So I have two options, whether this ID is in the dictionary or the ID is not in the dictionary. Let's say the ID is not in the dictionary. What do? I add it. And what is actually is going to be the questions that this student has answered correctly. The list that I want to insert is going to be initially what? Empty list. Clear? So now, when I read, let's go back here. When I read 600, 600, what does this mean? It means that this is ID. I know this is ID. Do I have, this is empty dictionary. Do I have in my dictionary 600, 600? No. So what do? I add 600, 600. But remember, the dictionary contains a key and a value. And the value should be here what? This list initially is clear. Now I read this one here. This one here is going to belong to, is this one a digit or not digit? So what do? I come to this here and I append it. Do you remember? So what's here? I will have Q1. And now I read this one here. Is this one a digit or a? So what do? So I have Q1 and Q2 and both belong to this guy. Now I read this one here. As this is a digit. What do? I check whether it's inside. Is it inside the dictionary? No. So what do? So I have this 600, 600, and I have this list that I have added here. Come on, now I add it, which is, and what's the number of the, what do I have here? Empty list. And then I read. Now, what is the key now in this case? When I read this one, what is the key now? This is the key. So now when I want to add this one and this one, I add them to here. Is this clear what I'm doing? Okay. So let me try to write it for you. And I want you to think more about it. But that's how we think about the questions. This is what we call critical thinking. This is what we call problem solving. You put it and you do the anatomy. Just like these surgeons, they start cutting and do the anatomy, and then they do the operation. Okay, guys? نايم انت نايمة كيف نومتك؟ كيف نومتك؟ مش نايمة امبارح صح؟ امتى بتنامي؟ بس ذكريني بس أنا عارف. صحيتي. I don't think انك صحيتي حقيقة يعني. Okay, let's go now and write. بتقلي صحيتي اليوم. بعدك نايمة انت شو اسمك؟ يلا define. I'm gonna write it very quickly. I have it here, student. To dictionary. What time is it? I'm taking your time. What time is it? We still have 4 minutes. We still have 4 minutes. Let me do it in 4 minutes. Sorry? No, actually it's 4 minutes because قالوا لنا إنه برمضان حرام فللون قبل بوقت شوي. ما تعلقوا مع بعض. ما تعلقوا مع بعض. خلص ما تعلقوا مع بعض. F equal as usual. We're gonna open the file and this is the file name. Guys, المهم عم تستفيدوا، أنا مش فرقاني معي، المهم إنه أنتوا عم تستفيدوا. Okay؟ حدا عم يستفيد منكم؟ Let me dot read here so to use the same. Go ahead. هيدي الدبانة اللي حتني مش عارف ليش. Dot what? Yeah, this is actually I will explain it to you. This is a correct. This is a good thing actually. Okay. Usually, guys, I want you to pay attention to this one here. Whenever we open a function, especially because we want to reserve our resources, Maya, we want to know whether we got an error or not in the file. And that's why it's always like this. When you open a file, remember, we open the file, and now the content of the file is inside F. When I'm done with this one, so I have no, it happened, and it will happen with you a million times. You try to open a file and the file does not exist. Okay, there is an error in the file. You couldn't read it. So you opened a file, you're done with the file. So what do? F dot, and you close it. And you do what? And you close. That's what I'm writing. So you close it. It seems it has been closed. What happened? So you close it. Okay, guys. And why do you close it? What happened? Because we don't need the file anymore. That's exactly reconnect. Let me check reconnect. So, and what does this mean? It means that the resources, when you open a file, it means that there is a channel, it has been opened. Look at it from this perspective. You are talking to me at telephone. You're calling me. There is a channel open between you and I. We're done. We don't need to talk anymore. And your phone, your channel is still open. You're losing or you're not losing? You're losing. Okay? The minutes that you're paying, but you're not using it. The same idea here. You open the file, it means that you load this file from the hard disk into the memory. Do you need it in the memory? You don't need it anymore. What do? You close. When you close it and there is no issue, you got what? False or true? It return what? True. It means that everything is okay and we're done. If there is an error, it's going to return what? False. Is this clear? So that's why we need to close this. Thank you for your question. So now I open the file, and now what do I do when I open it? I'm done with it. So it's called what? Sorry. This is F is a string. So let me F dot open, and in order to close it, remember when I put dot read. Now when I put dot read, what does this mean? It means that now F is what? A string. I cannot put a clause for a string. Is this clear? So in order to put it, usually that's what we do. We read the file. Now it's inside what? Inside F. So F, we have opened the file. And then let's say S is equal F dot what? Read. And now what do I do to F? F dot close. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I close and I open the file, which is the variable F. Okay, when I put here dot read, now what is the type of F? String. Do I have a string dot close? I don't have it. So pay attention. No. When I put dot split, it means that F now is a list. Let's try it. What do you think? Let's try it. Let's get rid of this one here, and let me put dot here. I put dot read. Yes. So if I do something like this, and let me just Control X, just done of these, and if I save it and I run it, as you can see, it's going to give me an error. It says that a string does not have a, because what do I have here? I have dot read. If I get rid of this dot read, let's say I got rid of this, okay, and I say F dot close, the error is going to be something else. Let's see whether. So as you can see, do I have the same error or is it a different error? It's different. It means that it's closed. Let's say, for example, here, L is equal to F dot. What do we have here? Read. Okay. And then I said F dot close. And then I want to split the L. This should work. Let's see. F5. What do you think? It works. Is this clear? So when I want to close, I want to close F open, F close. Clear, guys? When I put dot read here, F is no more the type of F here. If I print the type of F, this is actually a file object. When I print here the type of L, this is what? A string. Let's save it and run it and see what's going to happen. Look at it. The first one is input output type. Can you see it? The second one is, so this one here, L is a string. Why is a string? Because we said when we read it into a big string. That's what we have. Clear? Okay, guys? Okay, so let's go back to this one here. I think I was this one here, Control V. Yeah, this one here. So now we open the file, we read. Can I say f.close now? Because we used read, it means now f is a string. If I want to close it directly, what should I do here? So now I say L, for example, equal to f dot read. I have read f now. What do I do now? F dot close. If there is no error, nothing, this f dot close is going to return for me true. It means that I'm fine. Clear? Yeah. What do I do now? I'm going to write this quickly, and then I will let you go in a few minutes. Okay. So we need the dictionary. The dictionary first is going to be empty. So let's call it D equal, and it's going to be empty. And what do I need to do now? So I didn't split it. What did I do here? I didn't split it. Okay, so we have this dictionary, which is, as you can see, done. The list L.read.split. Actually, let me split it directly. I don't want to write it in another way. So we said we're going to loop, yes? For, do you remember what we have said? IN. Why do we need the range? But why do I need the range? For IN, directly, I don't need the range. We said we're going to check whether this I is. So I'm going to write here. So what I'm going to write? Sorry. What I'm going to write here, if I dot is digit. So if this is the case, this is a digit, what does it mean? It means it's an ID or it's a ID. So I need to check whether this ID inside the dictionary. So let me go back here and let me copy this one here. Just one thing. I know that I know that you want to go. I know that you're fasting, but let me go. So we have D equal to this dictionary. Okay, D equal to this dictionary. I want to check whether, let's say, Q2 is in the dictionary. I want to check whether what. So let's say print. Let's say print. What is the name of the dictionary? D dot get, and let's say here Q2. And what does this mean? It means go get for me the value that is associated with the Q2. As you can see, what's associated with this Q2? Can you see what happened here? Let's say now, if I say here 20, do I have a 20? So what's going to print? None. So now I will get the ID and I will search inside the dictionary. If I got a value, this means that this ID is already in the dictionary. If I got none, what does it mean if I got none? Is this clear? So look what I'm going to do here. If I is digit, now I got I, this is true, is a digit. So what do I do? V equal, this is value, is equal to what? What is the name of the dictionary? D dot get what? I. So I'm getting now the value of I. Remember here, I'm getting. So I will get a number or I will get a none. Is this clear what I'm going to do now? So if I got none, what does it mean? It's not inside my dictionary. So now what do I do? If V equal to what? None. What does it mean? Do I have this in dictionary or not? What do I do now? I add it. It's not appending, I will add this. So D, what is now the key is going to be I. And remember, this is the first ID. When we explain it to you, the list is going to be what? So this one is going to be equal to what? To empty list. Is this clear? You see what I'm doing now? I'm reading it. Oh, this is actually an ID. Check for me whether this ID is in the dictionary. It's not in the dictionary. How did I know? Because I got none. So if it's not in the dictionary, add it to the dictionary and put the value to it of it be an empty list. Clear or not clear? Now when I added a new key, the key that I'm using for the next question is going to be equal to what? To I. Yes. So I'm going to write here, I will explain this to you. I'm going to write here that key is going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to I. So let me write it. The key is going to be equal, is going to be equal to I. So that's in case it's digit. If it's not digit, what does it mean? Appended. So else, if it's not a digit, it means this is a question. I need to append it to that key that I'm working right now on. Do you remember this? So how to append it? Do you remember what we write? D. This is what? The dictionary. And we're dealing now with the key that I'm working on. And this D dot key. D dot key, it means it's going to return for me the value that associated with key. What do I want to do? Remember, it's going to return for example, here, when I say, for example, let's say I said D, and I put here, let's say I put Q3. What's going to return for me? What's going to return for me? Exactly, it's going to return. So suppose now I'm gonna get this one here. Let me get rid of this one here. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to say D equal, and this one here, Q2, I'm going to put it in a list. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 7, for example. I'm going to say 8. Something like this. This is what? This is D. If I say D and I open here and I put Q2, what's going to return for me, guys? Yeah, can you see it? It's going to return for the list. If I want to add to this list, remember, what do I want now? I got the student ID. I want to go to that student and add the question that he has answered correct. Yes. So what I'm going to do here, D dot key is going to give me this list. Dot what? I want to do to this list what? What do I want to append to it? The element that I'm reading right now, which is I. Clear? That's what I want. And then when I'm done, what do I do when I'm done with this? Return what? The D. Okay, guys, I want you to take this. And do you remember the last? So I will pause this. I want you to go to the question and try to solve this question again with the last question. The last question, the last part is not that much hard, but I want you to try to solve it. Okay, guys, promise? Okay, yalla go. You're welcome. Good luck, guys. Yes.